moments, and we should be underway. And we're off. Alright, both players starting at Sank today.
And finding the small key.
Yep, so that means that chest in the basement is going to be accessible, and maybe it'll be useful. LordMonte immediately quitting to Link's house, getting some bombs, and then going back to Sank. I'm gonna assume the bombs led him that direction. Meanwhile, Hurfy's going over here to do the hula hand trick.
Yeah, the Hudan set up that early.
Yeah, it's pretty good when you get that many rupees early on.
Yeah, he sure needs a lot of rupees early on. 100 for the bottle vendor, maybe gambling for Zora early.
Yep, and it guarantees this number of rupees guarantees that you'll be able to get bombs at the bottle vendor.
Yeah. And here we see after leaving the Hudan room, you leave Link's house. So it's a quick check for the item in there.
Interesting.
And reading the sign, yeah. Randomizer, don't read that sign.
A little unfortunate.
Monty finding a lot of money there.
Yeah. Speaking of rupees there in the Lost Woods, plenty of rupees on that side, so perhaps the hula hand room was not that important, but it is there. While Hurfy is heading into the Uncle's Tunnel.
Yeah, and if you're at Link's house, you might as well go there. While Monty decided to not check Lumberjack's cave, instead going directly to Kakariko Village.
That's true. A lot of times you'll know if Aghanim is going to be required one way or the other.
Yeah. And the Lumberjack cave is only one of the reasons why it could be required.
Right.
And the first item there that is actually useful, the blue mail in Thief's hut, or Thief's house, for Monty.
We've got some protective gear sitting there, and a few rupees in the back room.
Yeah, and at this point, it might be that the game is already pointing them towards Zora with that many rupees.
Looks like one of the one of the tree pole tiers is a group of bombs.
Yes, Hurfy already pulled that before, and the flippers in the well.
Oh. And the Quake medallion. So
yeah, bacon makes everything better.
Yeah. The Quake medallion. Oh, and the hammer. The gloves.
Gloves.
I know how to words.
The power gloves in the well. I mean, Hurfy will get those pretty soon.
So the Kakariko well was both so good and so bad for containing the power glove.
Yeah, it's good that you don't miss it. But it's not a huge advantage to find them.
So Hurfy's gonna have zero problems getting enough money for Zora, because there's 300.
Yeah, and the bottle vendor with just a red rupee. It's a bit unfortunate.
That's very true. Now, neither player has located a bottle yet, so neither of them will be able to check the sick kit at the moment. Although, anything's possible. Could always be a bottle in vanilla location here in the back of the tavern. No, but it's the
Titans.
That will do it.
Okay, only a moon pearl away from most likely not needing to go to Aghanim.
Yeah, and that Dark World access will open up so many possibilities. That's one of the downsides of having the Titan bits that early, is you have so many possibilities to check.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you can already scrap Aghanim from your mind for at least a long time. And the race game only having bombs.
Yep. So Lord Monty is gonna head back up to the sanctuary. On account of having the gloves and the flippers. Oh yeah, he's heading into the back of escape.
Yeah, you already have the key if you're confident with the dark rooms. You can get the first 3 items back here. Maybe one is lamp. No,
Oh,
it's a
one
moon
is
pearl.
Oh.
So
Wow.
the last thing that could make Aghanim required now is Fat Fairy having the hammer. Because you don't have
wow.
any other way to get there.
Fat Fairy having the hammer would be pretty brutal, to be honest.
But it looks like Aghanim is not required. Yeah, it's a very open seat right now.
Yeah,
that is
they don't
good
call it
and
open
bad.
mode for nothing.
Yeah. And Monty instantly going to the dark world.
Anybody want to see a 3-heart thieves town?
Oh, that one is fun. And
well,
we have...
he probably won't go there because it's a pendant.
Yeah,
Maybe
red pendant.
First bit.
And the green pendant ice. Interesting. Ice
5
palace.
is Skull Woods, and not sure what's going on. Maybe 6 was a desert, I think, or Eastern. I think somebody saw.
Yeah, but at the same time, Herfy is wrapping up his Kakariko village, finding himself some nice Titansmiths. And the interesting question is he going to do the later part of Escape? Or is he maybe opting to go for Sahasrara and Eastern?
You never know.
Oh,
there's the red mail.
Yeah, nice protection here.
That makes 3-heart thieves town a little less painful.
Yeah, and Herfy is deciding to do South Kakariko. Hyrule, sorry.
Yeah, South Hyrule is a very good play right now, especially since you have the flippers, so you could head up to Zora right afterwards.
Yeah, he has enough money for that. It's the 2 items in the dam, it's the mini Moldorm cave, and we found our first full heart.
Yep.
And just a piece of heart outside. Sad.
Meanwhile, Lord Monty is just digging up the ground here.
And finding the ice rod.
Ice rod! Ah, I should enlarge my restream because it looked like the fire rod from here. But,
yeah, but
I will fix that.
Luckily, it's the trolley of the 2.
Yep. Pretty surprising finding the ice rod this early and Turtle Rock is still required. I don't understand what's going on.
And the shovel in its vanilla location.
Literal vanilla shovel. And there's the lamp.
The lamp in Mini Moldorm.
Yep.
And the ether.
And the ether medallion.
So both runners actually making good progress here in terms of items that are useful or might be useful. Completely different stuff.
Very true. So...
And after the Light World Hype Cave, we see Dark World Hype Cave.
Yep. I've seen a lot of nope in the Hype Cave recently.
Yeah, currently it looks like Money Cave. Oh, sure does.
Oh man.
And in
Just
the
a
end,
whole
a
lot
piece of heart,
I've
but a
heard people.
lot of money.
Ooh, so the hobo has a bottle, so sick kids in play. I've seen. I've heard people say that the hype cave should be renamed to the V18 cave because that's when it was hype.
Yeah, sure was hype back then. And Monty, he tried to go for the shuffle dash there, I think. But no boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually you find boots before. And another 300 rupees.
Well, if you were ever worried that you were gonna run out of money, you're not anymore.
Yeah, and Herfy is doing the back check here of Sahasrama. Find more health,
That is
and the last
medallion.
coin.
So now we know where every medallion is, and Herfy has all of them, so he's not gonna have to worry about checking those medallion requirements.
Yeah, and Monty here going to the dam area, getting his piece of heart if he decides to grab it. I think he will not with red mail, but the full heart he will get.
Yep. And you know he's not going to be disappointed by picking up a full heart. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And now Herfy is going to be heading up towards Zora. It looks like maybe.
Yeah, and at that point he just passed by Escape, where the moon pearl is, and he actually could check the chest in the dark rooms because he has a lamp.
That is true.
But he has a lot of options right now. Back here he has 4 items he can check. He has Escape, the later portion. He can go up Death Mountain. Same goes for Monty in just a few seconds here.
The fact that Herfy found the lamp may actually be throwing him off the scent of the moon pearl here, because there are so many more places open to him than there were for Monty at the time, at least according to the logic.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it also opened up a chest that is in the dark, so it might actually point him towards it. We will see about that.
We just gotta hope that Zora doesn't have, like, hookshot or something. Because that would probably point him toward Death Mountain.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we don't know what's up on Death Mountain, and maybe it would pay off for him.
Yep, that's entirely possible. Just a piece of art, though.
Yeah. Not necessarily worth 500 rupees.
King Zora, Hyrule's greatest scam artist.
And maybe we see a Kingstorm check before he goes to Escape. That's something Monty didn't do, even though he also had
Did he get the boots?
Titan. Oh right, you need the boots. I forgot that you need the boots for the glitch setup too.
Yeah.
But no, he's getting his Moon Pearl and maybe heading deeper. Oh no, he has no bombs left. He has no option to kill the rat to get the needed key.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate, but I imagine he'll have another opportunity to go there.
Yeah, sure. And, with that in hand, he can decide to... Oh, we have a light word check here. 6 is in Eastern and blue in Desert. So
now Herfy's heading up Death Mountain.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. It's If he doesn't find mirror and hammer or the hookshot, he's just up here for 3 items.
Yep.
And he gets the save and quits point for the old man.
Yeah, that is very useful. Now the mirror would give him access to Hera as well. So
yeah, it would give him access to Hera, but without a sword.
That's true. You wouldn't be able to finish it. The only two things that can damage Moldorm are a sword and the hammer. And he has neither.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to see a hammer-required Moldorm fight.
Wow. That would be impressive.
I'm pretty sure if they only have fighter sword going up to Moldorm, if they have the hammer at that time, they will, or one of them will opt to actually go for the hammer strat.
Oh yeah.
That Spectacle Rock had just a piece of heart inside and a bottle with blue goo on top of it.
That is entirely true. Ooh. So, where do we head from here is the question.
On Hurfy's end, I think we will see Village of Outcasts.
Right. Now, if you were like the super player who had access to both of these players' knowledge, where would you head then?
With the items currently in hand, I think I would make my play for the first 4 chests in Siegstown.
Okay.
Just
Another
because...
thing I don't think anyone's done is like the first part of escape, right? Nobody's done that.
No. But without weapons in hand, it is actually something...
Yeah, it's pretty difficult.
Little difficult.
Dark Cuckoo could ice rod his way through.
Yeah, we have an ice rod. We have nothing else. Just an ice rod as a weapon. The shovel had no weapon behind it, so my priority right now would be go to dungeons. I can check a lot of items in and hope to find a weapon.
Yeah. Ice rod land molas, that'd be fun. I mean, nobody's gonna go to land molas. I just remember that's a pretty fun fight.
Yeah, it is something you have to get used to.
See, this is the great thing about open mode is you get to see people improvising, trying to figure out what kind of items they're going to use on things. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and well, now we see both following the other Monty going up Death Mountain while Hurfy is wrapping up Village of Outcasts here, getting his red mail. And Hurfy is actually opening up Savestown. Sure, with boots it is more fun to go in here and check the first 4 chests.
Oh yeah, of course.
But it is possible to go without the boots.
So Hurfy picks up the big key, which is guaranteed to be in one of these chests. The remaining 3, you have no idea.
Yeah, it might be something really good.
Nobody's going to argue with another full heart.
Yeah, I mean, at 6 hearts, red mail, that is like minimum for many runners. 7 hearts red mail, that is nice to have.
And by the minimum, you're talking about like for the entire game, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much up to the end.
Yeah, I find my minimum is about 18 hearts.
Yeah, it also depends what kind of mail you have. The green tunic is completely different.
And Hurfy looks to be taking the Death Warp out of
Yeah.
Town.
That is...
It's a much longer trip into the rest of it.
Yeah, it is a longer trip. You have a really annoying room with the lizards.
Yeah. And then there's, of course, the Hellway, which is awful.
Yeah. And Monty is checking escape right now. So Uncle and maybe the later parts?
Yeah, he's got 9 bombs and Ice Rod. He can probably make do.
For
Especially
all we
because he
know,
picked up that little bit of magic.
yeah, for all we know, he could find something really good in there. And he also finding the bomb triple.
Lord Monty making use of the bombs being thrown from above to dispatch some of the blue guards.
Yeah, I mean, if you're killing them, you might as well insult them, as long as you don't have a sword. And the shovel for Herfy.
Herfy picking up that digging implement.
And Monty is going for the self-destruction strats here.
Well, if you intend to death warp after you get to Zelda...
Oh, boom!
We have a bow. So, which one was 5 again? Skullwoods?
Yes.
We may be actually looking at that Fat Fairy hammer thing.
Yeah, it is possible. It depends where the fire rod will show up.
It's on Armos.
That would be actually pretty funny. And Herfy checked Hype Cave, which is not so hype this time, as we know.
Yeah. And it looks like Herfy will be heading up the same way.
Yeah, or not?
Oh,
He's thinking
okay.
he
so
might head
changing his
into
mind.
the later part of Escape first, the one chest that is still there.
That is possible.
Depending what's there, it might be something good to find. Well, no, he is heading to the Dark World again. Oh, maybe he is taking the long tour for the frog.
He could be doing that. Yeah. He can.
Oh, he forgot to turn in his bottle. I know what he's doing. He's thinking, sick kid.
And just another full heart there at sick kid. But it's definitely something you want to check off your list.
Yeah, and without mirror, it's hard to route sick kid in at this point. And Herfy's heading over to the Haunted Grove to get whatever is in there. We already know it's nothing good.
Yep, just a
300 rupees.
Alright, so Lord Monty's checking the chest in the basement.
And it's more cash. This is a very rich seat.
If Hammer is on Fat Fairy, I am blaming you. You understand this, right?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
I will blame myself for that. And Herfy is going for a gamble here. Agna.
Oh yeah, that's a rarely seen play. Yeah, but it can occasionally result in a good haul. The other, the other cave that's way out of the way being Ice Rod Cave, which neither player has checked either.
Oh, Monty checked it. It was nothing good. I
Oh.
think 20 rupees. Or upgrade, something like that.
My mistake.
And there Monty got his bombos. So he also has the full coin set now.
And just 20 rupees in Agonist Cave. Looks like Lord Monty is going to be heading over to Eastern Palace, which is good for him on account of having the bow. He'll be able to finish that off.
Yeah, with the lamp and the bow, you can full clear that place. In the logic, it looks like the next play.
If only they had the hammer, they could do the pod and Eastern Palace
Meanwhile,
combo.
Hurfy is also heading over to Eastern.
Alright, so we're going to have a synchronized route.
Yeah, but Hurfy has no bow so far.
Oh,
so for him, it is a double dip. It is a gamble. He is thinking, maybe I find something good there that opens up the seat. Maybe he will. But that would only put him away from bow even further.
Yep. So, actually I've decided that I will share some blame if the hammer in Fat Fairy happens, because I mentioned Ice Rod being on Fire Rod being on Armos.
Yeah, it's possible that this happens. Or something like the mushroom on Armos leading to Fire Rod.
Oh, goodness. Are you trying to hurt these people?
I mean, it wouldn't be hurting that much right now, because Fire Rod would basically point them towards Skullwoods and Ice Palace.
Yeah. Alright, there's a heart piece.
Yeah, and the blue boomerang.
I think that was all 3 items.
Compass?
Oh, the compass was at the beginning? Okay.
Yeah, the compass was in the first chest.
For some reason my brain had blue rupee there. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, we had so many rupees. Why not?
So we'll be getting the big key in its vanilla chest coming up.
Yeah, and that's always fun. You actually have to go back here for the big key.
And we'll be opening the large chest and see what's in there.
And let's hope it's the map, so Hurfy actually will have to escape. No, it's a red rupee.
Which is just about the same. The map's gonna be on Armos. We won't be seeing any shenanigans there.
So what else is open to them right now? Where could the good stuff be?
Well, there's the front part of Skullwoods.
And there is the rest of Thieves Town, except for Blind.
Yep. And then there's Ice Palace.
Yeah, with Bombos and Flippers.
Yep.
That one is nearly completely open.
Yeah, the hook shot is a bit of a problem there, but
yeah, but
necessarily necessary. You can do some bomb jumps, get around.
You can route the place in a very strange way to get around. Or maybe they find a small key in the first chest. Oh yeah, and ice currently isn't open so far. They need the sword for the medallion, but
Oh,
as soon as
right.
they find the sword,
Can't use the medallion without a sword. That is something I always forget. I should play more swordless mode, then I would remember.
yeah, and of course, a part of Palace of Darkness is open.
How are they
You
getting
can get
on?
there
Oh, with the flippers.
with the flippers.
Right.
And Herfy picks up his bow.
Yep, the bow
That is
is
good
found.
news for him.
Although he's probably a little frustrated because he just went into Eastern.
Yeah, but his advantage right now, even though he knows it's one of the crystals for Fat Fairy, he can route that in combination with Pot.
Right.
If he finds Mirror. So I wouldn't be surprised if he puts it aside. But having that bow is really good news right now for Herfy, because it gives him a weapon he can use. Without magic, the Ice Rod isn't too useful, and you can't kill all enemies with it. Most are just frozen solid.
That is true. Luckily, these guards here do die to the ice rod, but that's no longer necessary. A couple of arrows to the face of the ball and chain guard.
Yeah. Wouldn't we all like to do that at some point?
Yeah, pretty much always. Ball and chain guard can officially go jump off a bridge as far as I'm concerned.
And Herfy is now heading over to the Dark World, I think.
LordMonte is going to be checking out the first part of Skullwoods.
Yeah, and I think both will do that, by the looks of
Yes.
it.
I'm told the rule is this is V26, go to Skullwoods.
And there's a hook shot.
Yep.
So definitely go here.
The rule has not been defied at the moment.
And yes, it is a huge find, but on the other hand, Herfy might go to Skull very soon. Maybe checking most of Thievestown right now, or taking the frog on the tour.
Yep. So Hervey is heading south right now. So yeah, it could be the Frogs World Tour here.
While LordMonte is still looking for the second item here in Skull Woods, hoping to find it in these in the vanilla big key location, or maybe in the big chest if it's not here.
These Gibdos always get in your way.
Yeah, and at the same time you have the Wallmaster.
I'm not sure who decided this room was a good idea, but
yeah, it isn't the best idea. And another small key, so the second item is locked behind the later part. Can't be Fire Rod.
meanwhile the blacksmith gonna get returned.
And LordMonte is heading up to the east side of Death Mountain. With that hookshot in hand, it is the logical next play.
Yep. We've got 8 items over there on the east side, plus you can check the floating island, plus you can get... Well, no, you can't get to Harry yet. You need the hammer.
Yeah, but he has Dark World access, so he can do Super Bunny Cave, Hookshot Cave. It is a lot of stuff he can do right now. And Herfy is heading over to Ice? No. To the Ice Rod Cave. That's what he is doing. But he
Uh-huh.
has no bombs. That isn't good news for him.
Well, maybe he'll pick up the rock right next to it and get one.
Yeah. Oh, the single mightiest arrow. And we have a
The single
sword.
mightiest sword.
35 minutes in, Lord Monty finding the first sword. Now Ice Palace is open. They can actually reach Mosula with a sword. Because you need the sword for the curtain.
Indeed.
And the really fun part is they couldn't even go to Aghanim right now without the cape and the sword or master sword. No way to get there. Floating island, just having trash.
Indeed. So, Lord Monty heading through the spiral cave with no boots. Everybody get your resident sleepers out.
Yeah. Nice relaxing trip here. And let's see what Herfy is doing. Maybe he is going for Skull? I hope he does.
The
There is the
mushroom.
mushroom.
So we might get to see what the witch has in store. But right now, Lord Monty's gonna head into the Dark World section of Death Mountain. Where
Yeah,
there will be
well,
6 more items to check.
while Herfy is going to Palace of Darkness, or at least he is checking Bumper Cave,
Yeah.
seeing what's on top of there.
All right,
And
bomb
it's
up.
just bomb upgrade.
No, Herfy, turn around. Okay, so Herfy is going to be taking a swim.
To Palace of Darkness. I mean, we don't know yet what is in there. It might actually be something really good. Could be very hype,
Yeah.
or
Vanilla
not so
hammer
much.
sounds like fun.
Yeah, hammer, fire rod would be something.
Looks like Herfy's gonna be heading up to Catfish first.
Yeah,
Just
you're in this area.
case.
Why not going there?
Yeah, when's the next time you're gonna come back here? Never.
Yeah, not with Zora already checked.
I mean, hammer catfish could be a pretty big deal because
And the red
catfish is way out of the
boomerang
way.
for Lord Monty in Hookshot Cave. But nothing else. Nothing of value.
So pretty much, the sword and the mushroom are the only real significant finds
Yeah,
there
and
for Lord Monty.
catfish with the nice 10 arrows.
Yeah, just the most useful trip up to the most useful location. For which the sarcasm is just dripping. Anyway,
We might see Thieves Town from Lord Monty here. He now has a sword. He can nearly full clear the place except for one chest.
that pesky big chest with the hammer pegs around it.
But we don't know what the item flow is right now, so it might be something that he finds something there that completely throws him off, or that speeds him up.
Murphy, of course, looking at the pyramid,
Yeah, and
finds
finding the cape.
So you could go do Aghanim.
Yeah. Now Aghanim is open.
Did we even...
Well, he
Neither-
still needs a sword or the Bagnet to fight Aghanim.
That is
And
true.
he needs the sword to get to him.
You can't slash the curtains without the sword.
But instead, he is going for Palace of Darkness right now. Which might turn out to be a good play. Depends what he finds there.
There's plenty of items in Palace of Darkness, although there is a slight hiccup with Palace of Darkness, as it tends to be what I tend to call the mullet of dungeons, where it's business in the front and then party in the back.
Yeah. But there's a lot of good stuff he could find right now. Hammer, mirror, fire rod, boots. So there is a lot of stuff they are still missing.
Alright, so HurfyDurfy can open this first chest, gets the expected key.
Yeah, I mean, for him, it doesn't matter too much. He could go to the right side because he has the bow.
Very true. So one thing that's kind of painful is trying to do Palace of Darkness without the mirror. There's a lot of backtracking that you end up having to do to get the routing down. There's just not really a good way to do it.
But he's taking the smart bomb throw there to open up the wall already.
Yeah,
Checking
vanilla. Saves you some time later.
Vanilla big key location check because he found a small key. That allows him to skip a lot of backtracking by simply jumping down the ledges, chaining it together.
Will put him into the right-hand side, which is
with a green goop
Boloff.
rupee. Well, one of the 2 green rupees is found.
Yeah, but we don't talk about the other one.
So Lord Monty is fighting his way through the Thieves' Town pretty good here.
Yep.
Oh, and he picked up powder in here.
Oh, wow.
Nice
powder
safety.
Is my favorite item in the game. Not close.
Yeah, without the mirror or the hammer, you can't get the item that is locked behind powder.
Right, but I can get fairies from it, and that's what's...
Yeah, that is a nice part. You get the fairies out of it. And we're going to see a death walk from Hurfy, while Lord Monty is going to do a fighter sword blind fight, which is exactly as hard to do as a master sword blind fight.
Well, it's a little bit harder because the fighter sword is a little shorter, but...
Yeah, but you always have to stay close to him. He is moving around like a madman all the time, so it's 3 hits per head with any sword. And the seed stays true to itself by giving more money. And the red pendant.
Are you sure we didn't add extra 300 rupee drops to this seed somehow?
I'm not sure if there wasn't actually added more money. At this point, it feels like it.
So Hurfy's gonna do another bomb toss to open the way to the big chest.
Yeah, you see some people do it. Others will go through the door and throw the bomb over there.
It's it's pretty good either way. More impressive is if you can make the little bomb jump to the ledge. But of course, you're only going to do that if you have the big key, which he did not.
Yeah, the hammer jump. And in the randomizer, you don't see it very often because you're missing out on 2 chests in the labyrinth.
Well, I see that happen when you don't have the mirror. That way you can just go out the labyrinth.
Yeah.
But for that to work, you have to have both a big key and a small key, because you will not find a small key in the dark room.
And now Herfy is heading to the big chest. He knows at least one good item has to be in here. Because he has the big key and we only have compass and map. There is no third item. And there are compass and map. We were still missing both of them. And nice preparation for the death warp. And on just half a heart. He was prepared if he found hammer.
Yeah, if Vanilla Hammer was there, he was going to take the death warp and head out. Unfortunately, the hammer was not there. The hammer is proving to be quite elusive at the moment.
Yeah, and now the question is, where is the next item for Lord Monty, and when is Herfy going to Skullwoods? But I think he decided to go for Aghanim. Or no, he didn't check the later chest, that single chest.
Basement chest.
I don't know if I would route it like that. Of course, it is there. You don't want to forget about it. But it is a single chest.
Yeah, at this point, he was out of...
I'm thinking right now, what if the next item is actually the red cane?
Oh. Oh.
Would they go up to Turtle Rock or
Stop
not?
doing this to people.
Oh, Turtle Rock in this version is very good. It holds so many items.
Yeah, it's usually pretty good, but it's also so far out of the way. Nobody likes to go there early.
Yeah. Yeah, they need hammer for Turtle Rock, but what if they have hammer and they find hammer and red cane? Is the play to go for Turtle Rock if you can enter it early, the one you would go for?
Well, I have made that play before. It didn't actually pay off for me, but it has happened, so who knows.
And that is the point in chat right now. If you find hammer and red cane, you open up so many other things.
Yep. So,
and
I'm
the biggest...
Sorry.
The big question for Turtle Rock is that first chest. Without Fire Rod, it might be that you get locked in it right after the first chest.
And that's gonna feel bad. So yeah, I've done the or I'm kind of hoping the next progression item is the flute.
Flew to Mire Shed and the Mire area. Yeah. But again, the question, are they going into Mire without the red cane? Cane of Samaria being pretty big thing to have for Mire. And for a moment I was thinking Herfy is actually going to Skullwoods.
Oh,
but no. Nope.
Herfy, you're killing us.
He is not having any of that skull woods today.
I believe we have seen Breadsmith already from HurfyDurfy, but he is heading up
Taking
to get
the chest. Getting the lunchbox for a world tour year.
It'll be a short tour. He'll probably head toward just his own house and just head south from there.
Yeah, and without boots, it's very unlikely that he will accidentally start to dash and leave the chest behind.
Yep, that's true. Though I believe it'll stick around unless you switch worlds, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Or you flew away without it. I think that despawns it too.
All right. Just a heart piece in the chest. The progression has kind of dried up here.
Yeah, and LordMonte is preparing for his death wall. Well, I think Herfy is starting to realize he has not many options left.
Go to Skull Woods.
Yeah, I pretty much think that that is the only play that makes sense to him right now. It is a chance for 2 items.
Yep. And so, as the all-seeing eye here, I mean, I think we're looking at like Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ice Palace could be the next play. They have the hook shot. They have the sword after Death Mountain. And they have bombos.
So yeah, the Bombos Ice Palace is a required play you don't see too often.
And Herfy is about to pick up his hook shot. Well, you see many players do this. He is going to that chest first because the room before it is a lot easier before you open the chest.
Right. And of course, if you don't get the key, you're going to have to come back this way anyway, so...
Yeah. And he is taking the way
do it
out
anyway.
here. It saves him the time of picking up the other small key later on when they return to Skullwoods, which they eventually have to do.
Looks like, yeah.
While LordMonte either has to pick up the other small key right before the later part of the dungeon, or has to kill the Gyptos before Modular. And Herfy deciding to not go deeper into Woods here, which pays off for him.
Yep.
We know there's only a small key left.
Yeah, and that room's a pain anyway, so...
Yeah. And he knows he has to return to Skullwoods at some point to get the crystal, so you might as well skip that one chest and hope for the big play here on East Death Mountain.
Oh, we know he's gonna pick up that
sword.
The sword.
About 20 minutes after LordMonte. But at the same time, we have not a huge difference here.
The LordMonte finally churning in that mushroom. We're gonna see what sort of fungus is gonna give us the goods today.
Yeah, and he clearly is trying to avoid Ice Palace here.
Oh boy.
And no.
But he's grabbing a potion while he's there. Nothing wrong with that.
Nice safety. And there we have the sword for Herfy at 54 minutes.
And believe me, it's not like they don't have the money to pay for those potions.
Yeah, that is a nice part about this seed. You absolutely have the needed money for all the potions. And Lord Monty is heading over to the Dark World near Kakariko.
Well, I mean, that's basically the only access point, right?
Well, if he would go for
Well, other than Ice
right
Palace.
now,
Yeah.
it would change. But he has still the breadsmith and the purple chest, so...
And that... I would probably go for those before going for Ice Palace.
Yeah, I mean, Ice Palace is a difficult place. But on the other hand, this logic seems to really prefer dungeons. And while the seed started off pretty nice with early mids, Moonpearl, it turns out to be quite crowly with the swords, Fire Rod, Hammer, Boots, Kano Samaria, Flute. We are nearly an hour in and still a lot of stuff is missing.
Very true.
And Herfy's setting up for the glitch with the hookshot there and nicely getting it.
Yep. It's a little tricky to pull off, especially, the timing is occasionally a problem. But that's it. Alright, so Monty finds the red rupee at the breadsmith's and is going to take a whole nother trip just to get that purple chest, looks like.
Yeah, and while he is hoping for it to be something really good, we know it sadly isn't.
Wait, what? Okay.
Herfy accidentally picked up the skull there, so he couldn't hookshot back easily.
I mean, you just hover that, right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, without boots, not so much. But the big problem is the setup for the hookshot you can do is tricky.
So,
if you don't know it.
So Herf's going to sank. Wondering what he's doing. Guess he's gonna go turn in the mushroom.
I think he's going to turn in the mushroom, maybe pick up a potion at that. Which I think is a good idea if you don't have half magic. And after
then
that...
I guess if you're done, you can jump into that whirlpool right over there and get close to Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Though he may go finish Eastern as well, which he hasn't done.
Yeah,
so
and
he knows there's no item there, though.
Oh, we also haven't seen Desert Ledge.
Desert Ledge.
Which Lord Monty is taking a trip to see its an arrow upgrade. No,
okay.
it's a 5 arrow upgrade. Silvers would be nice, but not a huge game changer right now.
Yeah.
Not without access to desert. That's the place. So where is Hurfy heading to? That is the big question here. Oh, with a sword he might go back into Thieves Town.
Yeah, he hasn't cleared thieves either.
And
Lord
LordMonte
is
seems
making the play. Looks
yeah.
like for Ice Palace, or not. Maybe he's just going to buy some bombs.
Yeah, get some bombs.
Maybe he's going to buy some bombs
Hope
and then going to Ice Palace.
Hoping maybe that guy sells something else.
There is a shop that sells arrows if you need them.
Yeah, but I don't think he's
Way
hoping
out of the
for
way. Okay, LordMonte making his way into Ice Palace. Bombos will take care of the melting ice sculpture here. What are the names of those?
Oh, I don't know the name, but I know.
Neither do I.
Who you mean?
Freezor, apparently.
Okay, so Freezors. They are not nice. And they are one of the two big reasons why you need Fire Rod or Bombos for Ice Palace.
That is true. Freezor. Okay. Dealing with a little bit on my end real fast, and then I'll be caught up. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, meanwhile, we're seeing the conveyor belt room here in Ice Palace from LordMonte, leading to the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yep. Getting lined up there. Yep, that looks correct.
Yeah, nice first try.
The double bomb strat on the ping gators. Ping gators, that's the name of them. I learned them the other day. And another bombos to take out some more Freezors and just getting a small key. But that small key is going to allow him to take the easy route to get to these other chests over here. Ah, there we go. It looks like the fire rod has been found. Lord Monty finding the fire rod in the hookshot room. Alright, so Lord Monty's going to be heading up to the last room. Meanwhile, HurfyDurfy has made the play for Ice Palace. So both of them will be picking up that fire rod shortly.
Yeah, and the mirror. Lord Monty finding the mirror.
The mirror. Indeed. So we've got so much value here. So I don't know about you, but if I am doing this and I get the mirror right now, I'm thinking of Swamp.
Yeah, maybe finishing Skullwoods first.
True. The fire rod does give you Skullwoods as well.
And it's basically, if you go to Swamp first, you have to mirror back to the Light World, most likely, go up to the village again. That's a bit annoying. While Skullwoods, you can simply head south to Swamp. And Herfy is entering the conveyor belt room.
Yeah, this room can be frustrating for veterans and amateurs alike. There's just a lot of RNG in that room.
It is not a nice room.
Meanwhile, Herfy missing the bomb jump a little bit. Gotta deal with these pixels differently when you're using a different sprite than Link.
Yeah, and depending on what you're used to.
And looks like Herfy's gonna forget it.
Yeah, if it's not working for you, you might as well say, okay, I am doing it the vanilla way.
Especially since you're going to have to, you know, go through other rooms in this dungeon anyway. You have to clear out all the chests. The Ice Palace bomb jump doesn't save you that much time.
Yeah, and you don't have the hammers, so you can't reach the boss right now. And Lord Monty trying to go, yes, he did it. He went through the room with the Gyptos there, where you have to light up all the torches. But he has no magic right now. He has a blue potion, blue goo, yes, but
So,
don't necessarily want to waste that one.
Who's a fan of Fighter Sword Mothula, everybody?
Yeah, that is a fun fight.
I think you and I have two different definitions of the word fun.
No. I mean, you can pull it off. It is possible to beat Mothula with the fighter sword. But you actually don't want to do that.
Luckily, you're at least guaranteed to have the fire rod when you get here. So, if you need to fall back on that, you can.
And Mothula is currently really evil. Staying in the top corners there.
Stop being on the spikes!
Yeah, every time you hit Mothula and the moss hits the spikes, he takes no damage.
There he goes! LordMonte takes down Mothula with the fighter sword. That is excellent.
And getting the
get the
bug net.
Oh, I do love me some bug net. And that will clear out all the items in Skull Wood, so he won't need to check anything else.
And Hurfy picking up his fire rod. And no, he is going... Oh,
No,
please.
he's got the mirror, he's got the
He
fire.
already has some mirror.
He's good to go.
Oh, God. I was thinking he had no mirror. That would have been bad.
Though I believe he may not have found the third item in Ice Palace yet. If only because LordMonte, after finding the fire rod, did move on to pick up another item.
Yeah, but both decided to keep going even though they found a good item. Fire rod on LordMonte's end, HurfyDurfy with the mirror.
Yep.
And
So Hurfy's
both deciding...
for the Tower of Hera, which...
Yeah, it's a quick Tower of Hera.
It's a good play, too, because you're going to need it eventually, and nobody's been up there yet, so...
Yeah, I like to set it back as far as possible. If possible, do it as my last dungeon, but often that's not possible. It's simply so nice to mirror outside of Tower of Hera, get the crystal, go into the portal, and you're in GT.
Meanwhile, LordMonte heading into the Graveyard Ledge Cave.
For the Master
sword.
Sword.
Excellent.
And Hurfy is realizing he has to do the basement. So he is getting a nice break right now.
Yep.
And LordMonte is doing the same thing, so he is also getting his break.
Gonna pick up a little bit of old man love along the way.
So actually, the dream of Hammer at Fat Fairy isn't that yet.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
we have everything that's required.
Could go check Fat Fairy. You would need the mirror to pull it off. And you'd have to kill Aga.
Yes, he would have to kill Aghanim. And there's the big key.
Yep, no surprises there. And meanwhile, HurfyDurfy going to be heading up the tower.
While Monty is heading down the tower. Preparing for his nice break.
Yep. So, who wants to do the, the vanilla fighter's sword Moldorm?
Oh, and Monty is taking the hit there.
Less of a break than you would think at this point, then.
Yeah, that is not a nice break.
Although, at this point, he's got enough hearts. He could take a break. He'd be okay.
Yeah.
And
Hurfy is setting up for the bomb jump here. Without the boots, it is not the easiest trick in the game.
Yep. It's
actually is quite challenging.
Is it 1 or 2 pixels you have there?
I think something like that. I know you get like 5 or 6 pixels with the boots addition.
Yeah. Alright, so HurfyDurfy gonna come up and destroy Moldorm with the intended weapon.
Yeah, and Troldom with the fighter sword hurts.
Yeah, there's basically no way to avoid like super mega crazy Moldorm fast guy.
Yeah, the sword is dealing so little damage. And there we have the answer: 2 pixels without boots, 6 with boots. And Herfy taking the fall
Taking
in
the
the middle
worst
pin.
ball.
So they are
Meanwhile, Lord
pretty
Monty
much
not bothering
struggling.
with the bomb jump, just using the hook shot and then taking the fall.
Yeah, but Bo's having not a really great time here. That Tower of Hera is out for them.
Yeah, so we have a very close race on our hands here at this moment.
Yeah, pretty much LordMonte is a bit ahead with the modular kill and the Master Sword.
And of course, the Armos kill.
Yeah, and the Armos kill, but that is just a quick run for Armos, so it is not too bad.
And 20 rupees from Moldorm. Whew.
Staying true to the seat. Giving more money.
See, if people would just hand me 20 bucks on a whim, you know, I'd appreciate that. That would work. So I believe it's 3 spins with the Master Sword, and you can avoid getting in the speedy phase.
Yeah, with the Master Sword, it's a lot easier.
But it looks like he accidentally got a poke in there somewhere, so Speedy Moldorm
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
bad news. With a fighter sword, you don't care about it. You can slash, poke, spin.
And he did take the fall there, so he's going to have to do another fight on Moldorm. Meanwhile, HurfyDurfy is going to start making use of that mirror.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where he's heading to. Looks like Modular. Which, on account of crystals, it's good for him to go for this one. It's fast. He has 2 blue potions, fire rod,
And
red
hey, we know
mail.
he's going to pick up the bug net, which is always important.
Oh yeah.
He's going to do
Maybe
Swag It too without bug net.
And it opens up Fat Fairy.
Yep. Oh, the AGA required because you need the portal for Fat Fairy would be.
Yeah, it is something else.
I mean, if you called Hammer at Fat Fairy this way early on this seed, I might have to turn you into the witch hunt board. That's all I'm saying.
We only talked about this a few days ago, that this can actually be something that makes Aghanim required and you're not expecting it.
Oh yeah, Batcave is live at the moment.
Sure, they have the powder, they have the mirror.
You have to use the mirror instead of the traditional hammer route, but you'll get there.
First, chest in swamp. It's always a fun thing.
Right.
Well, for first chest that has no key, because the very first chest always has a key.
The first chest isn't a chest, it's just a key holder.
Yeah.
So if you look on the tracker, it will show you that Ice Palace, Thieves Town, and Desert Palace are the 3 pendants.
Let's see how Herfy is handling Modular. And we know the RNG for the moth. It actually wants to stay up there, camp the spikes.
Yeah.
So getting the fire rod out is actually a nice idea because the fire rod will bounce the moss around,
Yeah, and
deal damage to it.
And you can potentially get above it and keep it from going back up to those spikes. For those of us who aren't aware, the spikes, Mothula's programmed not to take damage from spikes. So not only does that make things frustrating for anybody who's trying to beat him, but also in the vanilla version of the game, it makes it where the butter sword or the golden sword cannot damage Mothula because it deals the same amount of damage as the spikes.
Yeah, but it was also never intended in the vanilla game that you have the golden sword or the butter sword when you enter Mothula. So they didn't test for that, I guess.
Although, I think it's theoretically possible, yeah, like without glitches, even in the vanilla game, to pull that off.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Way through Ice Palace.
Oh no, you just don't kill Mothula and head on.
Oh, that works too.
You just get the item and say, nope, I'm out of here. And it looks like Hurfy is on his way to the graveyard ledge.
Gonna pick up that Master Sword, always welcome.
While LordMonte is making the play on Swamp here.
Yeah. So earlier when I mentioned I was thinking Swamp, I completely spaced on needing the hammer, but there is that one
there is
chest.
one chest.
Ooh. So LordMonte getting that little mirror bonk there.
And yeah, at this point it's the question, do you gamble for Aghanim or do you say no? And I don't blame anybody for saying no to the Aghanim play.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd have to, it's gonna be very difficult to come up with any other ideas.
Yeah, it depends what you find in the first chest here. Well, the one after the key. If it's something good, it might point them towards something else. Could be hammer, could be the book.
It's the
cane! It is the cane!
Oh, it's the cane!
Okay, this opened up parts of Charter Rock. If they find the hammer at some point. But right now, it's nothing. Meyer, they can't get to that. Charter Rock, they have no hammer. So everything else don't need the red cane. So I think we are seeing the Aghanim play
this
here.
This is the trolliest thing. Oh my god.
Anything, and it's not necessarily the hammer. It could be the book or the flute at Fat Fairy that locks away the hammer. That's also possible.
Yeah, we're still not out of troll territory yet.
I mean, at least it's not a huge fetch quest for them, they know that.
Yep. All the fetch quest items are out of the way.
Except for book for medallion plays, but single medallion plays tablet is not too bad. It's not like it's shovel into mushroom into hammer.
Yeah. I don't consider the book being fetch quest because it opens like 3 things.
Yeah, it does a lot for you.
Also pedestal check.
Yeah.
If it's pedestal on top of this mess, somebody has it out for these two.
Yeah, clearly. So, what item do you hope for at Fat Fairy?
I'm gonna stick with flute.
And I think it would be really fun to see the book. The book, and just to fit in with the rest of the seed, the other single rupee.
Oh right, we haven't done Magic Bat.
Matt Batter, Monty did that. It's nothing.
Really? Okay then. Guys, this is...
Well, it's a full heart, yes. It's even sank heart, but at this point it is nothing they need.
I mean, have you ever seen this happen in a seed where Aga was required just to get to Fat Fairy?
No, I haven't seen such a seed, but I know it's possible.
Somebody clip this mess. I don't know what you have to clip to make the point that this seed is ridiculous, but do it.
Yeah, we will see at Fat Fairy what actually is there. It's the big question, how Brody can the seed get after this?
Play in 48 clips. Oh man. So, I guess we get to bet on the number of blue balls today. What do we got?
Yeah, I say at least Aghanim is nice and giving us a single one.
I'm gonna say 3.
There we have one. And 2. Okay, not so nice today.
And now it's lightning time. Oh, it's time for the lightning round. There's 3. And 4.
This Aghanim isn't nice.
Not
at all.
bit.
And meanwhile, Herfy is making his play on Swamp.
Oh boy.
Actually, this could be a good play
5
in the future. Ooh. Because Red King actually
6
could put them up to Misery Mayo? 7!
Well, that's all we're gonna get for sure. Because after the lightning, we're guaranteed to get another yellow one, but that is ridiculous.
Yeah. And I think we had an 8 called in chat, but not a 7.
Yeah. For using Price is Right rules, it looks like Roselia wins closest without going over.
And yes, Monty deciding to not... Oh, he saved and quit. And yeah, defeating Aghanim, having Mirror and Moon Pearl?
Not gonna do it!
Have fun?
Oh. This...
Yeah, first you have to mirror, after that you save and quit. And yeah, walking up there on the wall. No way of getting
you could
down.
jump down the right-hand side, but not the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So this is
And
brutal
this
for all
means
those involved.
Monty has to go to the village of to Kakariko village to get the
Where
portal
I
into
think
the Dark World.
Herfy is going to attempt to go to Turtle Rock and be very disappointed, or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like it. But not without the hammer. But we might see the hookshot setup again. Yes, there it is. Very nice.
Yep. Nice, excellent little move on the way to massive disappointment.
Yeah, so I feel kind of sorry for mentioning the setup for Aghanim required.
Well, I mean, we're just gonna take you to the witch tribunal now. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna find out what kind of dark magic is powering your predictions. Oh,
Apparently,
I guess Herfy didn't look at what was on the floating island.
yeah, or he forgot it.
Yeah.
That's also possible.
Yeah, because it actually takes quite a leap of logic to think, wait, Fat Fairy? How would I get to Fat Fairy? And then realizing that the only way to do it is through Aghanim.
Yeah, it is a strange setup. Take the bomb, you leave the house, mirror, or walk a bit up and mirror then. Walk through the castle main entrance.
Which, after you defeated Aghanim, is a portal to the Dark World. So that will get you.
I'm not sure if Herfy knows about this possibility.
Oh, that's gonna be a problem.
I knew it was possible, but I didn't knew it was needed at points. And here we see it. It is bombs
and the
flute. The flute is found. And swamp first chest was pretty much needed because with that, Mire is open.
Yeah. Now we could find the hammer in the Mire hut, or in the checkerboard cave, or in desert.
I mean, at least it wasn't hammer.
Yeah.
But it's
hammer.
still log hammer behind it.
Yep. Now.
Oh, Herfy is heading over to Armors to quickly fight it.
Once the hammer has been found, that will be definite go mode. Yes.
I think they are only missing the hammer. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe the boots, depending on Ganon's tower.
True.
And desert, of course. So we have kind of go mode with hammer.
But because of that, unless desert is completable without boots and the big key is on Ganon's tower, big key, or the torch, then we can pretty much say pedestal is out of the question.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the scenario I described, I believe, is the only one. But because I described it, it will now happen.
Yeah, or something like boots at Land Molas, and you don't need boots for desert.
Right.
Because, let's be honest, who would head for Land Molas right now? Another full heart for LordMonte there. In the Mire Shed. Yeah, there are fun setups or less fun setups which
Sylph,
could make.
You're cruel. killing me over here.
At least the race is much more interesting to watch with such trolly locations.
100%. This is going to go down in the books somewhere.
Oh yes. At least for a very trolly seat. And there Herfy picks up his crystal from Eastern, which he was still missing for Fat Fairy, of course.
Yep. So, LordMonte heading into Misery Mire, which is a good check because it's not gonna. It generally tends to take about as long when Go Mode is out of Go Mode. Alright, so HurfyDurfy will be finally heading to do the Fat Fairy situation.
And that big key, actually for Go Mode Mire, would be super nice.
Yeah, especially if you had boots and knew how to hover that gap.
Oh yeah. But even without that, it is basically, okay, go to the next room, get your small key.
And then get out. Unfortunately, Go Mode has not been acquired at the moment.
Not at all, but it looks like Monty is Go Moding the place first.
Interesting. Just
Yeah, he's gambling
making
for...
the play that it's on Vitreous?
Yeah, making the play, it could be Vitreous. And you're at the start of the dungeon after that, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to clear out that first room again, but it's not that bad, and
yeah.
And you're gonna have to head back through the main room anyway. I like it. It's a pretty good route. I think Herfy's probably just staring in disbelief at what he's gonna be required to do.
Yeah, it is hard to find that one. Sure isn't your daily randomizer seed. What's interesting is the question, how are they going to play on Ganon's Tower? Because I think both of them might feel behind right now.
Yeah.
Both having 3 crystals, sorry, with 1.5 hour, nearly 1 hour 40 on the clock.
Yeah, I know, if I'm LordMonte, I'm thinking, you know, there's a good chance he might not have even thought of Fat Fairy at this point.
Yeah, but the start was quite kind of crowdy, so he might think also maybe he went for Aghanim early.
Yeah. Herfy's still unsure.
Maybe
of what
made
to do.
maybe made that Ice Palace gamble early, because both of them put it back a long time.
Yeah.
And Vitreous has the nice small key here, exactly what you don't want to see.
Everyone's most favorite, most useful thing, the small key. And oh, I remember this. HurfyDurfy left a chest on the table in Ice Palace.
Oh yeah, there is 1 chest left. But that will only pay off if the item is not at Cold Stare.
Yeah, I believe he left the one, like, way out of the way chest. past the icy room in the basement area.
Yeah, and Lord Monty is going deeper into Mire now, looking for the items.
Yep.
And no, that's a compass.
Yeah, I was gonna say I might head over to the big chest and the other chest nearby.
First the chest nearby, okay. It might hold the goods.
Nope, just looks like the bads.
Yeah, another small key. Absolutely needed in this place.
Yeah, you don't want to like have too many small keys.
And the first item is bombs.
Just bombs. Alright, so 2 more chests I believe to check. The compass chest and then the chest behind the torches.
Yeah.
And of course, because of this seed and how it's been going, you know he's gonna have to go to the torches, right?
Yeah, of course. And Hurfy is trying for the bomb jump again.
I think this Koopa is Wendy. That sprite.
No, it is actually, how is it called? The hammer is found. Hammer in Mire.
Oh, there's the hammer. And Lord Monty has gotten himself into go mode.
Kind of.
Ish. Go-ish mode. Faux mode?
We don't exactly know. It is, for most dungeons, it is go mode. Egger 1 is absolutely required.
Via the most ridiculous scenario that I've ever seen.
Of course. Well, it could have been a little bit more ridiculous. Could have been boots in Mire and the hammer on the torch in desert.
Ugh.
But that's just a little bit more complicated. But with that, Lord Monty is heading over to the Palace of Darkness, finishing that one up. Afterwards, I guess it's swamp time?
Yeah, swamp. If I'm...
The interesting question, will he check further chests hoping for a sword upgrade and maybe the silver arrows? I don't think one of the players needs the silver arrows, but having a sword upgrade actually is very nice.
Yeah, Master Sword Silverless is the literal worst thing I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, so far we don't know where the book is, where the boots are. But the boots, it seems to be kind of a theme with version 26.
This seed is bootless until boots, and boots are never happening.
Yeah. This is pretty much the best description of the version. Boots, who need them?
Yep. It's like you're either going to be down the boots, you're going to be down the lamp, or you're going to be down the mirror.
Okay, we have a really evil idea in chat.
Oh, get out.
Big key on the torch in Ganon's tower. The boots on the pedestal. And the book is upstairs in Ganon's tower.
Oh my goodness. How about the book on the torch in desert?
That would be even better. No chance of finding out what's on the pedestal.
So if I'm LordMonte right now, I'm. Oh, I think Hurfy figured it out.
Yeah, Hurfy seems to go for Aghanim. Finally.
If I'm LordMonte right now, I'm gonna open chests that are convenient to try to find sword upgrades, but not go too far out of the way. Like I'm not gonna go to the left side of swamp.
No, of course not. But like the waterfall.
Yeah, the waterfall room. I might even check the room to the south with the 2 chests in it.
Yeah, it's a quick check for 2 chests.
Yeah, I don't think silverless will be a problem for really either of these runners.
Or even better, because now it's pointed out they would know it's a blind pull with a book on the torch. The book in the big chest in Ganon's tower. They would never get that. They would never know about it.
Yeah. I think the odds of that occurring are just so small.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't bet on that happening, but if it does, make sure to clip this so I could be made wrong.
And Monty here finished off Helmsaur King, and now he's off to Swamp.
Yep, it's swamp time.
Meanwhile, Hurfy is heading up to Aghanim.
So the probability is in fact greater than 0 of that occurring.
All in all, this seed was one of the biggest trolls I have ever seen.
Yeah, it has been a privilege to guide you and everyone else through this seed of utter ridiculousness.
I mean, it is really fun to watch, but I think both of them are hating this seed.
Oh yeah, there is going to be... They're going to have nightmares about this seed. Here I was thinking it couldn't get much trollier than the seed I got the other day.
And Monty is making his way into Swamp right now, while Hurfy is going up against Aga with his 7 blue balls.
7 blue balls, Aga. Just gonna be the worst.
Yeah, that's on top of all of this seed.
Now the Aga 1 RNG is not related to the Aga 2 RNG in any way, is it?
And Monty isn't going to the south here?
Yeah, that makes sense. He's gonna treat this like he's in go mode, and if he happens to pick up some useful items along the way, he'll be plenty happy, but otherwise he's just gonna plan on having to do Master Sword Silverless Ganon at this point, which is nobody's favorite thing, on top of what this seed has done to them.
Yeah, sure, why not adding even more to it? Don't give them any more swords. Sure.
Now Hurfy is going to be like, alright, just one more, and then he's going to get 3 blue balls in a row.
And there we have the big key in Swamp, which is absolutely not needed.
Yep,
and the map.
The map. So just trolls for days. Gonna look at this chest. It's a piece of heart.
Yeah, and this is a smart thing to just check the easy, fast chests here.
Yep. Then of course, there's plenty of chests in Ganon's Tower. There might be additional chests everywhere.
And
there's lots in Turtle Rock that hasn't been looked at.
Hurfy getting his Agar kill.
And now
Sure.
Hurfy's gonna figure out what he needs to do. He's going to
Yeah, I
Turtle-
think he knows what he is going to do. Oh, he is leaving. Ooh, wait a second. Yeah, of course. He is mirroring here just to have the portal.
and then realizing
Deciding
that's
to
gonna
not
do the
use it.
job.
Exactly.
And then saving and
No.
quitting and going to get the same problem that Lord Monty experienced a minute ago, in that he will respawn on the pyramid.
Yeah, what he would need to do was a simple mirror and then save and quit. You can start over at the sanctuary.
And there he goes. Alright, I am going to need to step away for a couple of minutes. I will be right back.
Yeah, and Argus with a very solid fight on LordMonte's end goes down. 2 more crystals to go. One being the rest of Ice Palace, which pretty much is a complete go mode. And the other being Turtle Rock. Oh no, sorry, Ice Palace is a green pendant. I saw that wrong. It is only Turtle Rock left. And this could be a rather quick dungeon. Depends how the keys are split. And we know Laser Bridge could actually hold the last small key that can be required. Because logic gives you Cape, Cane of Brian, or the Mirror Shield before the Laser Bridge. And we have the Cape. And Hurfy is approaching the bomb. Ether on Turtle Rock here, it doesn't matter, both of them have all coins and they have them for quite some time by now. And Hurfy is getting over to the two-chested fairy, getting his flute, while Lord Monty is entering Turtle Rock. And all in all, this was a really evil scene. Yeah, bombing the chest, talking to the fairy, even trying to throw something in. But no, stop it. And the bombos. Yeah, I don't blame him. He is frustrated. That is pure rage about that seat, about that placement. And we found a shield! Nearly 2 hours in and we have our first shield. Lord Monty having the small shield. Would also be something if the other two shield upgrades are on the way to Laser Bridge. And Hurfy is heading over to the Swag Duck, freeing his friend. While Monty is in the room where you don't find any friends. Oh, and locking himself behind the pack there. The Chain Chomps, or Bow Wows, really, really hurt. And they tend to kill people. And Hurfy, meanwhile, is making the same play as Monty, going over to the Maya area. I think it's a really good idea. So inside of the shed there was a full heart and some arrows. Okay, arrow capacity upgrade.
Okay.
And Monty is skipping the chest on the island there, which is a smart play if you already have the big key and you're practically in go mode. Just takes too long.
Yep. Now, of course, if that turns out to be one of the sword upgrades or the silver arrows, that might be a sad thing, but
And
not that big a deal.
we had the first shield on Monty's end in Turtle Rock.
Well, there we go. That's sort of vanilla, I guess.
Yeah, and oh, red goo.
Yeah,
In
I
the big
wouldn't turn down an extra bottle at this point, especially having to prepare for Master Sword Silverless Ganon.
Yeah, and right now it is healing. Additional healing, just always nice to have.
Also, of course, there are anti-fairies everywhere here in Turtle Rock, so they'll be able to use that to their advantage with the bug net.
Yeah, and Hurfy is about to pick up, yeah, here has it, his big key. While Monty is going through the dark room in Turtle Rock. The easiest dark room of the game.
That is true. This dark room is a lot less scary than it looks.
Yeah, you pretty much only hold the directions for a set amount of time.
Though I guess if it's dark, it doesn't really look like anything, but...
Yeah.
Alright, so LordMonte going to be heading down to the laser bridge room.
Yeah, and the last key that he needs is here. And there it is.
He will be foregoing the last two chests and making his way toward Trinex.
But not before he is taking a nice laser to the face just to fall off. Just for good measure.
Unfortunately, he's out of magic, so he'll be unable to powder or anything these anti-fairies here. He is a little low on hearts, so he's going to have to be careful, but he does have quite a bit of medicine.
We had boots on the bridge. I had a small buffering, so yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
But boots are on the bridge. Laser bridge holds boots. This means it is absolutely certain go mode.
Yes, that's got to be a big relief to LordMonte, who up until this point was uncertain that he was in go mode. Having to do hammer Trinex here.
Yeah, or Master Sword, which is also not fun, but he has blue goo left, so
And he's gonna make
no
use of-
problem with magic for the fire and ice rod.
Surprisingly, the ice head has yet to vomit all over the floor.
Yeah, it is nice today. The advantage of the ice head is that it actually takes damage from the fire rod, while the fire head takes no damage at all from the ice rod.
Oh no, Monty just ran out of magic. Oh, he's got a second.
No, he has,
potion.
yeah, he has more blue goo.
Ice Rod's being quite the trickster today, getting ice head.
Yeah, he is dodging, but on the other hand, with all the dodging, he also forgets to attack or to ruin the floor.
That is true. Alright, so Lord Monty gonna be hammering down the center part of Trinex.
Yeah, but with the health he has, the red tunic, it pretty much is a fight of I can tank every hit of you, can do whatever you like.
And there's
the
the
next
second
shield.
shield. That's actually a little relevant, because you can reflect or block some of those fireballs that are early on in here.
Yeah, but the big thing would be the riot shield, helping you to defeat the mimics.
Oh yeah.
Because you can simply fire your arrows at them, ignore everything they do.
Yeah.
Oh, and Herfy running out of arrows here.
Oh no.
That is bad news.
Oh,
and taking a
getting
death.
wrecked by the lightning bolt.
But what chest do you think the big key will be in Ganon's tower?
I think it should be on the torch just to make that boot required.
Yeah, that would be something. But with the Trody seed, I have to say tile room.
Tile room, oh my goodness.
And Monty is making the gamble for the right side. As I said, he might feel a lot behind by now. We're 2 hours in.
Or he might just be betting on everything this seed has been doing so far has been as trolly as possible. Let's just see the troll happen.
Yeah, but he didn't go for tile room.
Yeah, that would have been as trolly as possible.
Yeah, that would be the biggest.
Oh, missing that door.
Denied.
I need to try it again.
But at least with boots, it's a lot easier.
That's true.
And Herfy's setting up for his second fight with Vitreous. Oh, that Cane of Sumaria miss is a little bit painful. Now he has, or Monty has to throw the bomb over to the crystal there, to the crystal switch.
You basically have to throw it immediately or it's not going to make it up there.
Yep, and you have to hit the conveyor belt. Which is also not the easiest thing, but yeah, here we go. Hoping for a magic drop.
And there we go.
Barely enough.
So Lord Monty gonna make his way into this room with 4 chests.
Full heart. 100 rupees. And the silvers.
Ooh.
Right side gamble kind of paying off.
Yeah, that will make the fight much easier in the final phase.
Yeah, and also making the Gauntlet Lamolas 2 fight and a bit of other stuff in here easier.
So nothing of consequence on the torch, so those boots were not required whatsoever.
Yeah, just more money. We haven't seen enough of that.
How much money can a seed throw
But
at you?
at least Bob will stay alive.
Yeah. It's good.
And the
'Cause I
riot
like
shield.
to live. The riot shield. Small key and another small key. So, looking like either the left side here with a couple of chests, the rando room, Bob's chest, or Ice Armos. That's all that's left.
Anti-room, of course.
Right. Well, I just don't think of tile room because it's just that painful.
Yeah. Maybe the tower is trying to make up for what the seed did earlier.
What are you talking about? It's just compounding the issue.
Oh no, giving you the last shield, giving you the nice silver arrows, maybe
Yeah.
2 sword upgrades.
Maybe. Yeah. If I'm going up the tower with silvers, or I mean with Master Sword and no silvers, I'm probably checking like the 2 chests in the Helmasaur room and the 1 chest in the Crystal Switch room. They're pretty close. I've seen silvers in validation.
Yeah, I saw the third sword upgrade there.
Wow.
So it was Master Sword or Tempered, depending on validation chest. And no big key in the rando room. I'm starting to feel bad. I shouldn't have called for the...
Dark Cuckoo, you just gotta stop making predictions. You're gonna cause a heart attack to one of our competitors.
The problem is only the bad ones I made worked. Like the 1 blue ball Aghanim, no way. Not happening.
Yeah. So just, stop making bad predictions.
Okay, so 1 teleport from Ganon at all?
Sure. Alright, so here's the Ice Armos. Big key's gotta be back there somewhere, or in the Tau room. We got a 3 out of 4 shot of having the big key here.
So Ice Armos has the big key.
Vanilla big key. Literal vanilla.
And a bee in a bottle.
The 4th bottle. Yeah.
This is the kind of seed you wish on nobody.
Yeah. As interesting as it has been to commentate, I don't envy anyone who had to play this seed.
And Monty taking the more complicated way of fighting the mimics here than what he would need to do. Because with the riot shield, all you have to do is just face them. You will win.
That is true. I think a lot of rando runners are not used to having the riot shield at this point.
Yeah, if you see the shield, you usually skip it.
Alright, so Hurfy's gonna be pulling the same move through Swamp Palace that LordMonte did.
Yeah, and we know it's a good one. Because there is not much good stuff. And
LordMonte's
Monty
gonna
catching a
save the
fairy,
fairies.
which is good for him. I mean, he has time. It's his race to lose right now.
Yeah, and knowing that you're gonna have to do Master Sword Ganon, having to get those spins on him, there's probably a hug or two in your future.
Yeah, and he doesn't know it, but he actually is ahead quite a bit right now.
Way ahead.
Durfy
still
still
Turtle
has,
Rock and
yeah,
finish pod.
yeah, Turtle Rock alone is a solid lead here.
Very true. So, LordMonte gonna be heading over to the Landmolus fight. Show off that silver arrow prowess. Requires a little bit of technical finesse to hit
And
all those
very nice.
on the floor, but that was masterfully done by LordMonte.
And Herfy, meanwhile, taking on Argus. While Monty takes a little fall here in the room with the ropes.
Yeah, that's not going to cost you too much time, though. So
No, but it's adding to all the nerves, all the stress you had during this brutal seed. And every small mistake feels like you're losing more and more. So let's hope he can just take a deep breath right now. Shake it off.
just shake it off. Oh!
Oh.
Torches have been unkind to LordMonte today.
Yes.
LordMonte's gonna have to stop being slow and careful and get through this room as quickly as possible.
Yeah, don't care about your magic right here. You have a big magic refill coming up in this room. You have one right before Throwdown 2.
Yep.
There is no need to be overly cautious here.
Plenty of magic on the way. Just a heart piece and
And a small key.
small key, excuse me, words.
Yeah, I think he's still looking for a sword, hoping to find that one upgrade.
Picking up quite a bit of health here, and the second green rupee, which we don't talk about.
We found both.
So
I think
Throwdown 2.
most of the money that you can find is found.
Yeah, there might be like one red rupee left. That's about it.
No, I hope not.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a validation red rupee.
I know there's 28 red rupees in the game, so it's a heart.
Oh, it's a heart.
That's helpful. So, just throwing this out there, I recommend having a contingency plan for getting through this room with the bumpers and the ice and the Helmosaurs, because you don't want to get stuck in here and lose half your life and then die to Aga 2.
Yeah, and you have different options. You can learn the dash setup there. You can use the cape if you have it. You can actually take your time and kill the mini Helmosaurs, which helps. Or you can even line them up to push you into the door. And that was a very clean Aga 2
nice.
fight.
Very nice Aga 2 fight.
Yeah, 3-1-2. And Rick Silvers was right side Ganon Tower.
They were in the chest that makes the holes. This is in fact super
it is not guaranteed that Herfy will pick them up at any point.
And Ganon with the sick burn. LordMonte here has to make 12 spins on Ganon per phase in order to take him down.
Yeah, and even
an additional spin for every jump.
Yeah, and even in the last phase where Tempered and Buttersword can just hit him, he has to spin just to stun him and hit him with the Silver Arrows.
Indeed, that is the major downside of Master Sword Ganon. And of course, the spins, you have a much larger recoil on the backswing, and so you have to be careful that you don't fall off the edge. Falling off on Ganon is the worst.
Yeah, that's not fun at all.
Probably should not have.
Well, that is not randomized, so that is a question of skill and how much attention Monty pays here.
Alright, so Monty has reached phase 3 of the Ganon fight. Quite a few more teleports than one there. Just throwing it out there. But no,
that was a 0.
And there we go.
Yeah, okay, so it was only one phase with teleports.
That's
also something.
Alright, so LordMonte spams the torch glitch.
Yeah, he got it. Nice setup here.
And should be able to dispatch Ganon with relative ease. Gonna need one more stun, and there
he goes.
That will do it. LordMonte has finished in first place with a time of 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 48 seconds. Excuse me, 40 seconds. And that seed, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know anybody who could complete that seed in less than 2 hours. That seed was ridiculous.
Yeah, it sure was. That was...
Oh no! I'm being disavowed by the chat. Someone passed the seed without telling them what it is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think this would qualify as a good Plando seed. What do you think?
Yeah, it is at least close to Plando. But I'm still feeling super bad for calling that Fat Fairy.
Hey, sometimes you have the gift, and while it does make our runners miserable, it made our chat and our viewers quite happy, I'm sure. So we'll probably get LordMonte in here to talk about that seed.
Yeah, talk about a bit how he is feeling after that.
So the way this seed happened In order to get the hammer, you needed to get the flute, which was at Fat Fairy.
And
the only way to get to Fat Fairy was to kill Aga 1.
yeah, it was quite the seat. Meanwhile, Harvey is wrapping up Turtle Rock and finding his small shield there.
Yep.
I bet he's happy about that one. Absolutely an item you need. Not.
Okay, so it looks like Lord Monty is in the chat, but he has not activated his microphone.
Yeah, he will join us.
Hello, Lord Monty.
Hello.
There you are.
GG.
It said I didn't have permission to speak in the channel, and I was confused.
That is very strange.
But I'm here now.
Yeah, what a seat indeed. How are you feeling?
I definitely had a lot of jitters at the end of G Tower there. Missing both places I needed to use the lamps to open the doors.
I mean, who can blame you after that kind of seed?
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking about it logically, you had to swamp to get the red cane and get from Fat Fairy. To do Fat Fairy was to do Aghanim and walk all the way around Dark World to get to the bomb.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We talked about earlier what could make Aghanim required, and well, I pretty much mentioned that one fairly early in the seed.
Yes, Dark Cuckoo was, the source of the curse for this seed, and we're going to blame him entirely for that. But it was very, very well played on your part.
Thanks. Yeah, it doesn't look like Herfy's too far behind. I just brought up the channel.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
on
he's
the Turtle Rock.
currently.
It took him a while to realize exactly what was going on with the Fat Fairy situation.
Yeah, I'm lucky I've seen it before, because I didn't even think about it until I pulled that red cane and was like, wait a minute here. It's the last place I could check. What do I still have open?
Yeah, you both pretty much made that. Same for Ice Palace. The first tip into Ice Palace, you both went to every other place before that.
Wants to do Ice Palace without the hammer.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't finish it.
But it all worked out. Just glad Big Key wasn't in tile room this time like last time.
The way this seed was treating you, I would not have been surprised.
Yeah, it would have been the final insult by that seed. Just making sure that you know what you're playing.
Yeah, I wonder where those last two sword upgrades were.
We haven't seen either so far.
I've got somebody in chat saying Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb.
Would be possible.
Oh, I see you there, Rick. Once I get to the end here, I'll take a look for you.
Oh, and we found half magic in Mimic Cave.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Would have felt a lot more comfortable with that if I didn't find the silvers.
Yeah, and we are not sure if Herfy will find the silvers.
Herfy might also check the last two chests on the laser bridge. Might find a sword there.
Yeah, I checked a couple extra chests and Swamp, just in case they had the boots Because last thing I wanted to do was get to G Tower without the boots and it be on the lamp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally can understand that.
I assumed when you saw those boots that was a great relief.
It definitely was.
Meanwhile, HurfyDurfy gonna make his way into the dark room. 10 bonks. Not really a surprise on account of picking up the
Yeah.
so late.
Yeah.
5 times fluted. Well, flute was also super late.
That
But
was rough.
4-minute 43 item time. Item menu time.
Yeah, for 2 hour and 17-minute run, that's excellent.
Thanks. Let's see if I can find out where these swords are.
Alright, so you're gonna go on an expedition for us?
Yep.
Excellent. So Herfy just picked up the boots.
Yeah, let's see if he checked the last 2 chests there.
Yeah, he's starting with them actually. He skipped the second one.
Finding hard piece and the map.
Piece and map, and
Taking a fall.
taking a
Whoa.
fall, not getting the. Ran out of
Okay,
magic for the.
I really hope right now Herfy is either making this. Oh,
Oh!
that was way too close for comfort.
I don't know if I.
He has
oh,
the
he's got a
red goo.
fairy.
He has the red goo from the big chest.
Right. Got red goo. He's also got a fairy. He's gonna be fine. I was worried though.
Yeah, it was super close.
Alright. So HurfyDurfy picks up the magic, has half magic heading into Trinex, which you're perfectly fine with, and he's gonna use that red potion.
Did a ton of magic on Trinex. I'm so happy I bought that second blue potion.
Yeah, but the ice head was kind of nice to you with the amount of ice he got for you on the floor.
Unfortunately, he's not being quite as nice to HurfyDurfy.
But maybe he's not dodging that much.
That's true. Oh. So the flanctuary items were not what we were looking for. Somebody was saying Ganon's Tower big chest earlier.
Yeah. There's quite a bit left, actually.
Yeah.
Desert Palace.
Yeah, desert's
Left
where
side
I'm
swamp.
looking now.
Or just to fit in with the rest of the troll, let it be the medallion tablets and find the book at some point.
Oh my goodness.
Stuff like that is possible. And that is actually stuff I saw on seats before.
Oh man, there's the book.
Oh really? Wait, is this book on Torch?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Book on Torch. So, one of the ideas we had.
Go ahead, I'm
seems
sorry.
possible. We had the idea of book at the torch, but combined with book at the pedestal.
Or boots on pedestal, yeah.
You know, boots on pedestal, book on torch, and big key and Ganon Tower on the torch as well. That would have been something.
They're making my seeds.
I'm thinking somebody just threw in a Wizrobe seed. I think that's what happened.
And Herfy is opening up Ganon's Tower right now. So let's see if
Alright.
he's making the right side play. Or if he is missing out on silvers.
That would be unfortunate.
There's one.
Alright, so there's Tempered Sword in one of the chest in the Desert Palace.
Yeah. And the only option there can be using Quake or Bombos.
Of course.
And Herfy is going for the left side.
Oh
Ooh.
boy. That's
We are in for a Master Sword Silverless Ganon fight by the looks of it.
that's just gonna be the cherry on top of this seed.
At least he has half magic. It would be 10 times
yeah.
worse if he didn't.
Oh yeah, without half magic, that would be the absolute worst. Well, and obviously with Green Tunic, but that is a minor difference.
Okay, so heading over to the left side of Swamp. See what's over there. Okay.
And so far we haven't seen anything on the left side of Swamp.
Correct.
Both players were able to play Go Mode Swamp Palace.
Nor have we seen the compass or the big chest.
Yeah, and on Herfy's end, we are seeing a very well executed left side Ganon Tower here. Randomizer room, yeah, we know it doesn't hold the big key.
So, Lord Monty, in addition to this trolley seed, one thing we noticed was it was just handing out money like it was candy.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the 4th sword upgrade in the big chest in Swamp Palace. So HurfyDurfy will not be getting anything to make this easier.
Yeah, I mean, he has nothing to check that we don't know about. We haven't seen Tile Room and Big Chest in Ganon Tower, and that's about it. And here he is killing Bob. Poor Bob.
Aw.
Bob
He
will
started
be-
off his race by doing Houlihan Room. He said he
Yes.
normally likes doing that.
He did. Which is why he has a little more money than you right now. Alright, so Herfy gonna take care of Ice Armos.
Oh, and the third arrow sadly was a miss.
Alright, so HurfyDurfy is gonna make his way up the tower to face the ultimate Ganon challenge.
Yeah, go for a lot of stuff here. And just point it out, if you're not reading in chat right now, in about 30 minutes, we have another race right here of the secondary tournament. It is Kevin 856 versus Oyster SA. Also James FNX versus, oh god, I can't pronounce that name.
It's probably Ozapone.
Yeah, something like that without buttering it. On Randomizer Mania 3. And the main tournament also has some races going on today.
So if you haven't gotten enough rando after this seed, which, I mean, to be honest, this is probably enough rando for anybody, but if you want more, if you're just craving more rando, we've got all the rando you can stand today.
And some of the races today are pretty hype. Like at 1 p.m. EDT, we have Killer App versus Nicolacci and Jet versus Jam.
Oh my goodness, Jet versus Gem.
That is one of the really hyped up races. On the other hand,
I was gonna go to bed, but I don't know if I can.
yeah, on the other hand, we have the 3 p.m. race between Android and Gus.
Oh,
That is in the second tournament. So much great randomizer going on right now. We are seeing a lot of really good skill. And even with the not so good time here by Hurfy, it is still a great time. That was a brutal scene.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking, 230 would probably put, if this was like the weekly race seed, that would put you in probably top half.
Yeah, many people would have given up on that one.
A lot of forfeits in that one.
Yeah,
and Hurfy is being an extremely good sport by sticking it out.
Yeah, I mean, you have the option to finish here. You might still get a decent time on a really hard seed.
Yeah. No, Hurfy, it's the bottom right one. There you go.
And yeah, Chad points out there are other good races. There are so many good races. So we can only give you a short-term notice of what's going on soon.
In my experience, if you're looking for trolley seeds, you want to stick with the secondary tournament because we get trolley seeds all the time.
Yeah, sure.
There was a late night trolley one with soccer the other night. Like mine on Wednesday was awful. We had Ice Rod at Pendant Helmosaur, Flute on Trinex, and then you had to go to, and then Pedestal Quake to get into Mire.
Yeah, and this seems to be something from the qualifiers. It went over to the secondary tournament, while the main tournament gets all the fast seeds.
Yep. So we know all about the trolls here. Alright, so Hurfy's gonna take care of this torch room and head into the Helmosaur room. He's gonna check these two chests because why wouldn't you if you're desperately seeking swords and silvers?
Yeah, it's quick checks for the place. And you hope.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just call this the blessing of V26.
Yeah, blessing, curse, whatever works.
Yeah, blessing is more of a understatement. Ooh.
Yeah, taking the fall there to troll down too.
I'm actually a fan of V26. It seems to me to be the closest to what I think of when I think of a truly randomized algorithm.
Oh, sure, it has its big trolls, but most are really cool.
Yeah, I like it compared to the previous one that had a lot of bias thrown into it, because that's not the spirit of Rando. The spirit of Rando is everything is everywhere all the time.
But yeah, on the other hand, what's also positive about this version is there are only a few autopiloting seats where you actually just go from one place to the other because it's super linear. Usually you have at least a little bit of trolling route divergence possible, especially in open mode.
Yep, open mode is a different beast. Alright, that takes care of Aghanim 2 for HurfyDurfy. He'll be heading over to Ganon, and we'll get to see his Master Sword Silverless Ganon skills. Wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised to see him go pick up some safety potions or something.
yeah, it's not a bad play to pick them up.
But he's just going for it.
Depends on what you're confident about.
Yeah.
If you have done a lot of silverless Ganon fights, you might decide to instantly go for it.
A lot of people put a lot of practice into Silverless Ganon.
Yeah, and not only in the rando community, but of course in the vanilla game community as well, because the low percent category is well existent, and it requires you to actually fight without silvers and only with Master Sword.
So for those of us who are unaware of how Silverless works, there's a very short window as Ganon is teleporting away in the final phase where he is vulnerable to sword. Now, Ganon himself with the Master Sword is only vulnerable to a spin slash, so you have to spin to hit him. It's going to do as much damage as a tempered sword slash, so you're going to need 24 hits in the final phase to take down Ganon.
Yeah, and it's a very specific time when you can hit him. Oh, and Herfy taking the death there. But he still has the fairy. So that might be why he went into there. But even with Tempered and Butter Sword, you still use the spin to make it easier to hit Ganon at the right time.
It is theoretically possible to hit Ganon with a very small window with a slash, but you don't want to.
Yeah, you actually absolutely don't want to. I once hit him during a silver fight with silvers in exactly that small window. And it was pretty disappointing.
It didn't knock you off or anything, did it?
No, of course not, but you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna stun him. Nope.
Ooh.
Oh, and
Herfy
another
takes him back to the
bat.
face. And
And another
fairy.
fairy.
Yeah. So yeah, to get Silverless Ganon, you want to make sure to dodge the fire bat. That's another thing you have to remember.
Yeah, and you pretty much can count the trail of that bat to get a bit of a timing, a visual cue for the timing.
All right, so Herfy has made his way to the final phase of Ganon. He says, "Did you find the arrows in my tower?" And Herfy's like, "Really?"
Yeah. Are you
looks like a
serious?
miss. There we go. That's a hit.
Yeah, but sadly, it's not enough time. You have 2 teleports from Ganon before you have to relight the torch, and oh, that was way
scary.
too close.
I thought he was goner.
Taking the fire bat to the face is really bad. It hurts, and it pushes you towards the edge of the arena there. So you can take a fall, and if you take a fall, it is go back to the start.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yeah, well, okay, they actually don't need more money in this seat, so...
Yeah, you're fine.
At that point, if I would take the fall, I would actually decide to go back to Ganon Tower and say, okay, it's 5 more chests, worst case, it's tile room. But first I would try to beat him without the silvers.
Herfy's doing an excellent job so far.
Exactly. This is a really good silverless Ganon fight we're seeing here. Took 1 fire bat to the face earlier, but that's about it. Oh, there's a second.
Oh boy.
But I think he still has the red goo.
So Herfy's being very... I believe Herfy used the red goo right before
Oh,
Trinex.
that's possible.
But he's being very careful, taking his time, getting the hits in where he can. It's an excellent strategy for Silverless Ganon.
Yeah, and at this point, you know that you have lost the race, but you can show off Silverless Ganon fight. Oh no!
Oh.
And no more fairies.
Alright, so it looks like Herfy's going off to get some potions.
Yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
Get some potions. Maybe go back to Ganon's Tower, get some silvers.
Yeah, that...
1 green and 2 blue.
Yeah, make it 1 green for now.
Ah, I see. Picking up 1 green, 2 blue, using the green, dropping the B, getting 2 more blues.
Yeah, get ready on all you can.
It is not like you don't have enough money. All right, Herfy.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
We are getting close to the next race. So at this point, first thing to do is a big GG and thank you to both runners showing us an amazing race here. It's a really trolley seat.
Yeah. If there's any 2 runners in this tournament who, after their display, deserve a follow from all of you, these are them. My goodness.
Exactly. Also, a huge shout out, of course, to the administrators of the tournament, of the secondary tournament. to Randomizer Mania for actually making it possible to restream here. For our restreamers, for the silent one in our team, dude,
With the tracking.
doing the tracking work here, allowing us to focus on the match.
And of course, thank you to you, Dark Cuckoo, for providing commentary in a voice that's not stuttering all the time.
And thank you to you too for staying with me with the commentary here.
Yep, we may get to see the end of HurfyDurfy's run here.
I sure hope we do.
We probably won't have time to get him in for an interview, but
Yes, sadly not.
I may just jump over to his chat and ask him some things, because, oh my goodness, seriously. Alright, so Herfy's going to use some cape strats. Which is quite good, considering the treasure trove of potions that he has in tow. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a big problem. You might as well go ahead and use the cape to your heart's content.
Indeed. We're gonna have plenty of magic for the last phase. Now, in my limited experience, if you fail the first Ganon fight, the second Ganon fight is not guaranteed to have the same amount of teleports.
Oh no, it's completely randomized seat by seat. And it's actually, as we see, we have different teleports here. Okay, and we're in the last phase again.
Alright, Herfy. Let's do this. 24 spins. Let's go. 1. Shoot.
And 2.
Nice.
But that's not enough time to get the third one in.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible to get the third one in unless you time the torch lighting just right. There's a third hit. And a fourth. And a fifth.
And this time around, Herfy is taking way less damage. Doing a great job of dodging.
Indeed. Gotta be a little patient, wait on that bat to go away, and then you can get up right in Ganon's face and spin.
And yes, at this point, go Herfy, you can do it.
Indeed. I mean, even getting sub 3 on this seed is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, and he should be very well. He should be able to do that. I mean, it's about 6.5 minutes to go. Till 3 hours are gone. Yeah, taking that fire bat there, it isn't really bad. It's minor inconvenience.
I don't believe I would sub 3 this seed.
Yeah, it takes huge gambles to get a time that is better than what Bose Runner said. And when your execution is not really good like the two of them showed, you will have a bad time with this.
And here we go. Herfy should be pretty close to done at this point. think it's maybe 3 more hits. I lost count.
Oh god, another bat to the face, but he was able
He's
to
got-
not take a fall.
And he's still got several potions in reserve, so shouldn't be
Yeah,
too
the
much.
damage isn't too bad. And there
we go.
it is. GG to Hurfy, and Hurfy finishing with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 11 seconds. So yeah. GG Hurfy.
Ooh,
Thank you everyone for watching.
good game, Turfy, and shortly we will be having another match on this channel. Someone else has signed up to commentate that, so thank you all for watching again, and I will be signing off.
So enjoy the rest of the tournament.